so today we are here with the third generation owner of Mayo Studios. Today we're going to discuss legacy, production, creativity, and what it looks like to build community through storytelling in New York City. Today I'm here with Mickey. Mickey, thank you for taking the time out today to
Thank
speak
you.
with us.
Thank you so much. It's great to have you.
I'm excited. Okay, so just starting off a little bit, can you tell us a little bit about the history of Mayo Studios?
Of course. Yeah, so we're a 72-year-old company starting this year. My grandfather was a photographer and quickly realized he could create a studio space in New York City where he could be shooting products for clients all over the country. He had a small studio. My dad later joined him kind of begrudgingly, but then later built the business up tremendously. My mother then joined after my grandfather passed, and together both my parents ran the business very successfully for many years, and kind of getting into, in those days, the world of catalog photography. Imagine like the JCPenney catalog of those days and things like Bed Bath & Beyond when there was packaging photography and catalog photography. That was a lot of the work, and the studio has always had a focus on home. So basically products that would live in a home environment. So whether that's furniture, bedding, lighting, bath products, towels, and things like this. And so the studio has really developed a reputation in that niche, and we've become known certainly throughout the country as kind of a go-to studio for producing imagery and now video for home products. I joined in 2007, and I came in with a design background and was really interested in looking at how the branding kind of affects image making. And so that's been my whole thing that I still to this day very very excited about, and always eager to kind of get involved in planning productions for clients who have either well-established brands or even new brands that want help in figuring out what things should look like. And then my sister Tony joined a few years later, and she comes in as our executive account director, and she really is responsible for all of the client relationships that we have and developing those new relationships as well, and finding new business for the studio. So we share an office. We do a lot of work together for planning and for cultivating new opportunities.
Cool. Can you tell me a little bit, so you touched on how it has shifted. So you said known for home is the niche. But as soon as you said catalog, I was also thinking like Sears,
Yeah.
Very different, like print work.
Yeah. I mean, print, back in the day, we were shooting film.
Right.
Actually, when I was a kid, I worked over summers, and one of the things I would do would actually be to hand deliver a piece of film to a client on Fifth Avenue, where they would look at the film, they would look at the image, and they would give feedback over the phone to someone back at the studio. And then you can imagine that process might have taken hours, and certainly if not maybe days, to complete a project for someone, because everything was more manual. It was print, it was film, it was separations being made for the final printing process. But I got to learn so much in being part of that, because it's traditional print techniques, and that also then taught me kind of about design, printing for design, and layout for essentially what was print design back in those days.
Did you always know that this was going to be in your path, just from being around it, or how did that come to be with you studying design?
Right. Honestly, I don't think I did. I don't think that my parents really pressured me, nor my sister in particular, to sort of say, you're going to, one day take this on. It was more just exposure. And so growing up, I mean, honestly, I think I spent every summer from when I was 13 through college, working over the summers at the studio, and probably being in the way and messing stuff up, but learning a ton, and eventually learning a lot about graphic design. Desktop publishing was coming about. But no, it was never like, hey, one day you're going to do this and you better be ready. It was actually a funny story. I was working up in Boston doing design work, and sort of somewhat out of the blue, my dad called me up and said, hey, I'm going to come up and take you out to lunch tomorrow.
Oh.
And so he came up. I think he flew from New York to Boston. It was a big deal. And he took me to a nice lunch, and basically was sort of formally asking if I would come back to New York and work with him and my mom at the studio. And he kind of expected me to answer him right on the spot, I think. And I just knew that it was such a big decision that moving back to New York, but also if I said yes, this is kind of going to be my life. Like, this is what I will do. So I said, I need a month to think about it.
Right.
And of course, eventually I said I would. And we worked, only, I would say about, it's been about, 8 or 9 years that my parents sort of stepped back from day-to-day operation here. So we worked together for many years, and I learned a lot from them in being at the
How
studio.
long were you in Boston before coming back to New York?
About 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that is a big
It was a
big amount of time.
the beginnings of a career that I was building in design, but it essentially then ended up becoming a really good foundation for how I would come in here with maybe a little bit of a different vantage point had I just come straight here from college.
So with that being said, what would you say is like you and your sister's spin
Yeah,
comparatively to what it was under your parents?
sure. The studio has always been known for really excelling in building an image that was above and beyond what our clients might expect for what might be seen as just product photography.
Right.
We sort of elevated product photography over the years, and I guess for me it was kind of building on that and saying that we can combine the needs of lifestyle imagery and brand imagery and do that alongside product imagery so that the brand ethos is kind of always embedded in the work that we're doing.
Right.
So I bring a lot of that thinking into the planning of a production, and then I also art direct on set. So I might actually work alongside the photographers and stylists to really help shape the look that we're producing. Working with my sister Tony, she really is that primary point of contact. So she's really kind of stepped into that role of, I think, managing expectations, scoping out projects, helping to reality check when that's needed. And she also steps in if there's issues along the way. We work really well together. We get along really well and sort of almost like oddly well. We share an office. We sit 6 feet apart all the time. But it makes it fun. And now at this point, it's like I can't imagine not working with her.
Right.
Here, so.
Which is a blessing.
Yeah.
It all works out.
Totally.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to highlight, like Mayo Studios goes beyond photography. So Mayo Studios works across photography, video, set design, branding, and even 3D visualization. How do all these elements kind of come together when telling the complete story?
Sure. I guess at this point, technology is coming at us so fast. We have CGI, as you mentioned. We have AI-powered image making.
Yeah.
We're kind of indifferent to the medium. We're sort of here to say, this is the way we think you, the client, will get the best results. So we have to be aware, we have to be capable, we have to be savvy with all of these tools.
Right.
But like I said, we're not really partial to any particular type of solution. We just we like to be able to guide our clients into image making that is best suited for whatever it is that they're doing. Definitely video has become a major part of what we do. We used to be a still photo studio for years, almost exclusively. And I would say in the past 6-7 years, that's really changed, where video is almost 50-50 with photo.
One thing you mentioned also at the last networking event was that you guys are tapping into like the creator space. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So it's become really clear. We have this amazing facility. We have this 20,000 square foot studio right here in such an amazing location. Yeah. We have so many resources that are available to us professionally to offer our clients, but it just became clear to us that if we open the doors a little bit more and invite other creators in, there might be a whole new world of opportunities for everyone in doing that. I think one is, let's face it, the creator economy is here and we're in it, and there are so many talented people here in New York that could probably benefit from being in a space like this. So that's really the exciting thing, is to kind of make more people aware that we exist, more of the talented creative community that's here, have them come in, make use of our sets, spend time in this workspace, have access to things like our props, have access to our knowledge. Just kind of being in and around an environment like this, I think, is inspiring. And people just, I think, also are in, like, just kind of want to be around other creative people. And so we want to be a platform for that. We want to invite that to be happening here. So it feels like just an opportunity, like I said, for everyone. So we're really excited about AYO and this idea that we can start building a membership, larger membership to invite more creative projects, more creative people into the space.
It's really cool. Stay tuned. More to come.
More events to come.
Absolutely. And I feel like also like the ambiance, it's very welcoming. Everyone here, like as soon as you walk in, you just feel like, okay, this is home. So I could definitely see that as you guys continue to expand. What do you think makes a production or creative project feel timeless?
That's almost one of the hardest things to do, I think. And so if you can do it, it's very rewarding. And there are brands that we work with where that is kind of an important outcome. It's one thing to create a campaign that's very much of the moment and ephemeral and kind of lives and is noted for its kind of uniqueness and being in that place. We've had a few opportunities, and there's some like really standout images that we've been part of producing that I think fall into that kind of more timeless realm. And so, it's kind of building out the right team, working with the right people who kind of all come at it from that same thinking. And there's kind of like a constant level of editing, kind of like removing what's extraneous until you get down to just like the core idea. And that's probably the cleanest way I can say how to find yourself in a timeless solution.
Why is community such a big part of like what you guys are building here?
It's interesting. So for many years, our studio was very much a self-contained production company. About going back maybe 15, 20 years, we had staff photographers, staff stylists, pressers, carpenters, a really nice big team. And there was a nice community for sure within the studio.
Okay.
But over the years, the needs changed, and our role in producing projects required us to kind of turn that on its head, meaning that we now work with a broader audience of different talent who maybe are not permanent staff members, but amazing talent from the New York City creative pool.
Right.
And like I said, it's nice to work with really creative people who are really passionate about what they do. And I find that that's one of the most inspiring things about doing all this is when you're on set, everyone's focused, everyone's there to do something. And at the end of the day, you like, wow, we did all this today. And if everyone's in it together and doing it together, it's really the best. So naturally, community comes out of, I think, being in production. And then finally thinking about AYO in the future, it just feels like we can even be doing more to bring even more creative talent in here. And doing projects that maybe we, as Mayo, aren't even touching from a production standpoint, but we're more of just a platform or more of a resource for the community to give people access to what we've built here. We'd be so proud and excited to kind of see that grow and to see new avenues of production. Maybe someone wants to come and shoot a music video here. Maybe someone wants to produce, technology review videos here. Things that we as a production company are not doing.
Right.
It'd be so exciting to see that starting up here.
How do you foster and build those relationships?
A lot of it's been word of mouth. We know some really amazing people. They know amazing people. We had a really nice event that I know you attended, and that will hopefully be the first of many, so we can really get AYO kind of in the cycle of the scene, of the creative scene. I mean, like let people know that this is kind of a little bit of a touchstone or like a place to check in and just to kind of see what's going on. I think we had an amazing turnout for our first event, and we're really excited about
that. Was the first?
That was the very first.
Oh, wow, that was an amazing event.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, we were really happy with it, and we met some great people, and that just gave us a lot of positive reinforcement that this is resonating with people.
Yeah.
And so if we just keep going and keep the momentum there, I think we can get even more people coming in, and just, again, so much of it here, it seems to be word of mouth in New York. And we'll see people on productions who come back and they're part of a different production and they remember being here and having a good experience here. So I think that community element, it's just something that I think over time I've also just realized more and more. It's just such a key piece of all this. It's so easy just to get caught up in your own bubble of what you're doing. But when you start to, again, like interact with others and collaborate with others and learn from other people, that's kind of much more rewarding and exciting.
What do you hope people feel when they come into the space?
We want people to feel comfortable and taken care of. It's also very much about the comfort level that our clients hopefully have when they are working with us here, and they have maybe a few days on set where they can kind of retreat to their workspace while we're all out.
What do you think, or what do you envision as like time goes on? Like a lot of people are going digital. Like it's almost like a rarity, and like, oh cool, I got a physical space. How integral is that to Mayo Studios?
Yeah, it's a great question, and one that honestly I think over the years my opinion has changed also about it, because I feel like on the one hand you hear the technology is moving so quickly, and you think that there's going to be these solutions that will just completely change the way we all do everything that we do. But at the same time, I'm sort of happy that I am frequently reminded of how wonderful the physical space is, and how there's an immediacy to the creative process that happens in a real space. It's kind of a satisfying creative work can happen in a real place with other people. And a lot of times too, for clients, there's less ambiguity, and you're all focused in the same mission together. We're all here on set making something happen. So I do still think that that's a really important piece of it, is having the physical studio, having the option to have big projects come through where we need to get something done in the physical space. I will say too that as we delve into new technologies, we also use the studio in new ways. I mean, we use the studio not just for still photography or video, but we can use it to scan real world objects and convert them into CGI assets. We can host events here that maybe we haven't done in the past. We had a really interesting project with a startup brand. They are the makers of really beautiful high-end kitchen cabinetry. And we had built 3 full-scale kitchens for them here in the studio, which we had then photographed and captured on video. And then finally they had an event for the design industry to come in. And they had, I think, almost 200 designers coming into the studio for the beautiful event where they were kind of doing their launch, letting their clients come and touch and feel their products in the space. So I do think there's new ways we can be activating this studio that we probably haven't even tried yet. But I think that that real world component is still exciting, especially here in New York, where we have access to such amazing creative people. Our clients, a lot of them have offices here in New York. It's extremely convenient, and like I said, it's challenged my notion of whether or not it would make sense to still have a physical footprint. But again, it's proven back to me over and over again that it is pretty amazing to have the space.
And it's becoming like more of a rarity almost.
I feel, it's amazing to still, first of all, to be in our 70th or 72nd year of business, and to still be able to kind of be that hub or destination even for this kind of production is wonderful. I really am proud of that. I think it's, a testament to an amazing reputation, an amazing team. And we just keep reinventing and doing new things.
Right. Not too far from the 100th.
Getting there.
Little by little. And closing words, what would you say you'd want your legacy to be?
I think one of the challenges of being in a creative production environment in New York in particular is the really high bar that is always kind of there, and that great work is being done in this city, and I feel really proud that we're doing great work here right alongside all of those other projects. I already feel really good about it. We've made it here 72 years. We remain a destination for amazing brands to want to come here and produce work for their campaigns. So I think some of it is sort of just remaining relevant and remaining competitive in the sense that we are seen as a resource for some of those top tier brands who need just excellence all the time. The fact that we're still doing that today makes me very proud, and I just look forward to just to keep doing that. I think that's something I feel really good about, and really lucky to work with amazing people who help make sure that that is still possible.
Thank you so much, Mickey. This was amazing. 72 years is not a small feat at all. I feel like you've definitely made your mark as well, and I can't wait to see how the studio continues to grow.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for being here, and I'm really happy to talk with you today. Thank you.
Thank you.